Hey everyone, it's Barrett and I am back with a plant video. This one's going to be all about how to create a propagation box. Now, I got this idea from Julie Nicole here on YouTube, and she also has an awesome Instagram page called Juju Succulents, so I'll make sure to link her video and also her Instagram account in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. I had to be a little resourceful with the items that I actually did have and that were accessible to me. So what you want is a container, and this is just a normal storage container. I got this at Walmart. I think it was like $2 something, and it has an opaque lid, which is totally fine. You don't need a transparent lid. Julie actually has an opaque blue or purple lid on hers, and her propagation pieces are doing just perfectly fine. And then what you do want to make sure is this is clear, because that's where the light's going to come in. Where I actually put this is in my carport, so it has light on all sides, but not like a garage or anything like that, like an actual carport. And you can also put this like on your porch. As long as it's shaded, you're good to go. You don't want direct light beaming down on your box, because one, is going to make it too hot, and two, your plants that you're propagating may die. So the next thing you're going to want is a box cutter, because you need to cut out little holes in the top of the lid. What I did was flip the lid over, and I got my box cutter, which is from Walmart. I obviously love Walmart or something, and I just did triangles on the top. So you can see that there are 3 triangles right here that I actually cut out, and it actually does pretty well. Not only is it getting a little more light, but it's also getting a little bit more air. And I also didn't have a drill like Julie did to just easily drill. I actually had to like put a little bit of elbow grease in it, and so I just cut that out on my cutting mat, which is also from Walmart. I've had these 2 items for a really long time, so I just already had them, and I pretty much only had to buy 2 items for this propagation box. Next, you're going to want some netting, mesh, whatever it is. This is actually called gutter guard, and it works perfectly fine. I didn't actually have the mesh that Julie had. For some reason I thought this was what she had, but she actually has something a little thinner, and it also has smaller holes, which would probably work better, but this is the only thing that I had at my Home Depot, so that's what I got. Next, you're going to need tape, because you need to put this over the holes that you just made with your box cutter, and also scissors, because you need to cut the mesh or the gutter guard, in this case, out. So that's pretty much it. There's not really too much to do with it. I don't have one to show you right now the process of, because it's just so easy. All I did was cut triangles out, because I was not going to try and cut out circles. And then I cut out 2 pieces of this gutter guard / mesh, and I put the 2 pieces on top of each other and just taped it. So you can see it's not very pretty, but it gets the job done, and that's really all I need it for. So that's what the lid's going to look like when you're finished. And then all you have to do is pop it on, and you're good to go. So that is actually pretty much all I did. I just, cut out the gutter guard or the mesh and just layered it on top of each other. This one is actually my first propagation box, and I realized quickly that I needed a larger box, because I was propagating a lot. I'm really into propagation. I have a whole propagation station over there, and I will probably be doing more videos about propagation, and I have one that I'm planning for my prayer plant, which has been doing so well. So what I did with the big container, it pretty much looks the same as a small one. I did the 3 triangles, the mesh on top, and then I taped it. This one actually did a lot better. I think it's because I did the small one first, and so I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing too much. Like I said, it doesn't look too good, but it gets the job done. Okay, so I am just putting some leaf cuttings from one of my actually 2 of my succulents, or maybe 3 of my succulents, into this box because I actually want to make sure that it has moisture without being too wet. This tray of succulents was actually in my smaller propagation box, but I really wanted a bigger box to put all of my stuff in without just having tons of different boxes. I'll probably give the small one to one of my friends. What you want to do is make sure you don't miss them. In the past, I used to miss them, and I just realized that I just pretty much killed them every single time. So I'm doing way better with the propagation box than I actually am missing because I'm giving them humidity. So how I actually started propagating these is just plucking the leaf off of the mother plant and just putting them into the soil. This is pretty loose soil, so I didn't pack it down or anything, and it's just pretty much a mixture of all-purpose soil and cacti soil. So we're gonna put this little guy over here, and we'll see how these do because I haven't propagated a lot of my succulents yet because I just started doing all of this year. So I'm really excited to see which ones propagate and which ones don't. These for sure do, which I'm really excited about. And I'm actually going to try and root this one a little bit more. This did come off of something like this, and it was actually a little bitty succulent that just came off, and I don't know if it's going to survive or not. I hope it does, but you just never know. Usually half of the propagation leaves that I cut off work, and then some just totally don't. So that's what this one kind of looked like until it shriveled up and then turned into a little baby succulent. So I'm actually gonna put this one in here as well. I wanna make sure that this little guy gets some moisture to try and get the roots out. And in this space, I'm actually going to put a mason jar of water. It doesn't really matter what kind, from my experience. What it does is when it gets trapped in the box, it evaporates and then it creates kind of like a humidity room, which is what this really is about. Next I have this Sansevieria. I think this is one of the lemon lime ones or something of that nature. I got this from a local plant nursery. Not this, but the actual mother plant. And all I did was kind of rip it off and let it callus over, and then I put it in this soil. So when you do the leaf cuttings on any succulent, you want to make sure that it calluses over for a day or two, and sometimes it might be like a week. I think these took about 4 days, but it's actually really hot where I am, like I said before, so it didn't really take too long to callus over. So I'm gonna put this guy right here, right by the water. And then I have these ripple peperomias. It just kind of came off and I held it for a little bit thinking, what am I gonna do with this guy? So it's actually pretty healthy, and what I did was I just cut the leaf right in two and I put the bottom side down. So I just put those down and made sure that I knew which way was going down, so I didn't like put them upside down or anything like that. Hopefully it will start rooting and shoot up some peperomia ripple plants, so I'm excited about that one. Next we have my very first tray of succulents. I actually didn't put this in a propagation box before. I've been doing this for about maybe a month and a half, and it really didn't do too much. All it did was produce this little measly thing, and I think it's because I just put in a leaf that was a little bit too small, which when you pick leaves, you want to make sure that they're a little more on the plump side. And so these are doing a really awesome job. I'm so excited about these little guys because they're rooting so well, and I think it just goes to show that some succulent leaves are not going to root. These are from a jade plant, and it has taken a while for them to do anything. At first I thought they were just going to like kind of shrivel up and die. And this is from the same plant. And I wondered like if I could just root it in the soil like this, and really I'm just gonna toss it out because it does so much better in water. So if you're wanting to propagate these pieces in water, they actually do a pretty good job. I mean, there's a little bit of roots coming out, but nothing significant. I will say that I tried to put this in a plastic round. It looks like, it's like one of those drainage catcher things. And so I actually put some dirt in it, and then I put these on top, and a lot of them actually died. Like, it actually looked kind of scary in there. But I know now to use more like the cardboard pieces that have more aeration through them. So that's what I'm using now. So here we go. I think these are just looking so good, and I might put these over here, maybe as like the big brother and sister next to these, to kind of say, hey guys, you can look like us one of these days. Okay, so I don't necessarily like to make my propagations too pretty or aesthetically pleasing. I just want to make sure that they do the job well. So we have the water, the Sansevieria, cutting one of these succulent leaves that turned into an actual succulent, and we'll see what happens to it. Nothing may happen, you just never know. Then we have the Ripple Peperomia, and I actually got my Ripple Peperomia from theseal.com. I love that shop. I'm just putting another glass of water because I want to make sure that I have enough moisture in this. So I'm really excited about my new propagation box. I think it looks really nice and neat and kind of pretty. Now I'm just going to put the lid on it, and then it will be ready for the outside. And I'm really excited to see what this looks like in the next few weeks, and I will let you know what it does look like and make sure to have another video for you. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe so you can get more information on plants and how to take care of them. I'd really appreciate it if you gave this a like, if you learned anything from it, or if it just entertained you pretty much. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Sincerely Sarah B, where you can get your plant fix for the day. I try to post every other day, or at least like a couple of times a week. It just really depends on my schedule. So that's primarily my photography/plant account, and you can check out the link in the description box below. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.